Hello, what's up? In this video, I'll be showing you how you can easily color grade or edit your raw images in Camera Raw. And in case you use Lightroom, you can also follow along with this very kind of tutorial. So in this, we're just going to learn how to color grade or process raw images in Camera Raw or Lightroom. And later on, we shall see how you can easily improve that in Photoshop regarding the skin tone. So stick around and watch this video because it's going to be very helpful. And don't forget to like the video. So right now, after importing a raw image into your Camera Raw interface or into Lightroom, this is what you have to do. First of all, start with the light option in Camera Raw. So in light option, we have these adjustments regarding lighting and contrast, basically. So when you analyze this very image, what do you want to do? We are going first of all work with the highlights because I feel like the highlights on the skin a little bit overblown out. So I'll just come to the highlights and take down the highlights just like that. And I'll do the same basically for the whites, just like that, to have a more richer skin tone for the subject. Then I feel like the image is lacking some contrast. I'll just come and turn up the contrast to around 13. So depending on the photo that you're trying to edit, you have to adjust it accordingly. But this is the workflow I tend to use when it comes to Camera Raw or even Lightroom. Then I'll also take the blacks down to add more contrast into the shadows. And I'll open up the shadows because when you take the blacks down, it tends to add more contrast in or darken some areas that are in the shadows. That is why you have to come and open up the shadows. So after doing that, when you analyze this very image, the skin tones are leaning more towards the blue side, which we don't want, or which you don't want in this case. So you can see after playing around with the light adjustments, I'll scroll down to my color option right here, and under color we have temperature and white balance. So how white balance is going to be affecting this very photo, you can see that we have the temperature slider, and temperature is how warm or how cold you want the image to be. So in case you have shot the image and it looks too blue, it means the image is going to be cold and you want to warm it up. Move the slider towards the yellow side, which is the warming effect. And in case the image is too warm for your liking, you can move the slider towards the blue side, which is the cold side. So for this case, I just want to warm up the image. So I just come right here to the slider and take up the warmth of this very image to around 5600. I feel like the skin tones are a little bit more appealing from where we started. So you can see this was the before. You can see before warming the image, and this is the after. So after I have done the basic adjustments to the image, don't play around with this vibrance and saturation because we're going to be focusing on those later on. So you have the option that says tint. So tint is basically, if at all you're having a green or magenta color cast in the image, you can play around with the tint. In case the color cast is a little bit green or magenta, you can reduce the greens by moving the slider towards the magenta side, or you can remove the magentas by moving this slider towards the green side to remove that color cast. So after doing that, I'll scroll down to our color mixer, and majority of the magic happens in the color mixer option or adjustment layer. So in the color mixer, we have these adjustments regarding hue, saturation, and luminance. Hue is basically changing a color. Saturation is the intensity of a color. Luminance is the brightness level of a given color. For example, when I come to the hues and I play around with the hue of the red, you can see when I move the red slider towards the right hand side, I'm affecting the reds in the image. And whenever you're moving a slider towards the right hand side, you're making the color that you have selected look like a color below it. And you can see in this case, the reds are looking a little bit orange. And when I move it towards the left hand side, I'm making the reds look like the color on top of it, which is the magentas, and that is how it affects the image. And like I said, to reset, simply double click on the pointer to reset a given adjustment. So saturation is the intensity of a color. You can increase on the intensity of the reds or reduce on the intensity of the reds. Luminance is the brightness level of a given color. You can brighten the reds or you can darken the reds. So having that in mind, this is what we are going to be doing. So look at the image that you're editing and look at the colors that you want to adjust. So for my case, I oftentimes want the greens to pop, so I'll just come to the hue and target the greens. So just come the greens and play around with this slider to see what works best for me. So I'm just going to make the greens towards the aqua side. Like I said, moving a slider of a selected color towards the right hand side, you are making that color look like a color below it or beneath it. So you can even play around with the yellow slider to make the greens pop. But as you're doing all this, you can see you can even make the yellows or the greens towards this other side, depending on the look that you want to go in for. So I'm just going to make mine towards the aquas, and I'll make the yellows towards the green side to make the greens pop in this case. So after doing that, I'm going to come to the blues, and I make the blues towards the aqua side just like that a little bit. Then I'll come to the saturation because the greens a little bit oversaturated, and I'll just come to the saturation of the greens and slightly drop down or reduce on the intensity of the greens, especially in the background. So I'll just leave it around -26. It is okay. So after that, I'll come to the luminance. So luminance, you can either darken the blues or you can brighten the blues. So for this case, I'm just going to add a slight bit of darkening on the blue color. So after doing that, we have the next option, that is the color grading option. So under color grading, you can affect a given color individually regarding the midtones, the highlights, and the shadows of your image. So for this case, in case we want to play around with the mid-tone color, especially in the skin tone, I'll just come and click in the middle and drag this slider or option around to see the effect. So the closer it is towards the edge of the circle, the more saturated that color is going to be, and the closer it is to the center, the less saturated the color is going to be. So I'll just add a little bit of an orange color towards the mid-tones to affect the skin tones. So depending on what you want to do in a creative way. So for the shadows, I can just decide to come and cool down the shadows slightly by adding a little bit of blue towards the shadows. Just a subtle adjustment, and it is not looking too much. So next, we are going to scroll down to our calibration. So calibration is basically, like I said at the start of the tutorial, we don't play around with the vibrance and the saturation slider because I tend to prefer to do that under the calibration section or panel in Camera Raw or even Lightroom. So under this, in order to make the image pop, I'm just going to come and target the blue primary, and you can see that we have saturation. So I'll simply come the saturation slider and take it up, and by just doing that, you can see that the image is going to start to pop. You can see taking this down is going to mute the image, and moving the slider higher is going to make the image pop a little bit more. So I'll go with around 63 to make the image pop more. So you can see by playing around with the hue slider, you can see how that affects the image. But usually, I wouldn't recommend that you play around with the hue slider. So in case the image is looking oversaturated, that is when you have to come back to the hue and saturation, and take down the saturation of the image just like that slightly to make it look natural and a little bit realistic. So you can see this is the image before, this is where we started, and this is where we are right now. The image looks great and it is popping. So after I have done those simple adjustments, I'll just come and open the image in Photoshop. Like I said, as a bonus, we are going to work on the skin tones to create an even looking kind of skin tone for our subject. So for this, in order to work on the skin tones, first of all, you have to retouch. Do this step after doing the skin retouching on the image. So assuming that we have done the skin retouching on this very image, we are just going to create a stamp visible layer. So in case you have been doing frequency separation and you have multiple layers, I'm just going to assume that we have multiple layers. I'm going to create a stamp visible layer by pressing Shift, Option, Command E for Mac to create a stamp visible layer or a new filled layer for our image. And after creating that new filled layer, then for Windows you can use Shift, Alternate, Control E on the keyboard. Simply come to select and make sure select subject is activated, and Photoshop is going to automatically select the subject for us. So after the subject has been selected by Photoshop, the next step is simply going to be come into the empty layer icon and create a new empty layer, change its blend mode from normal and change it all the way down to color. So after doing that, we are going to come to the brushes, right click and get the normal brush tool, and make sure the hardness is set to 0, soft round brush is selected. Then make sure the mode is set to normal, opacity and the flat 100%. So what we want to do in this case, we just want to sample a color on the skin that we want the rest of the model's skin to look like. So I'll look for a color that falls within or belongs to the midtones of the model's skin. So I'll hold down the option key on the keyboard with this empty layer selected, option and left click. So option, or for Windows it is alternate. Option and left click on a color to sample color in that given area, and you can see that color is going to be sampled. So use the brush tool and simply start painting. Don't mind if at all, or in case the color is looking a little bit too much for your liking. So just make sure you paint. So for this, we are only going to focus on painting or the painting process over the model's skin. So I'll paint on the skin just like that. So make sure you paint all the areas that have or contain the skin. Command minus to zoom out and paint quickly or faster. So I'm just going to paint. Don't mind in case you paint extras regarding the skin tone, because you can always rectify or correct those extra areas that you may have painted. So like I said, take your time as you're doing all this, and make sure or ensure that you zoom all the way in to paint each and every area that has or contains skin tone. So you can see this area of the subject's skin was having a color cast from the swimming pool or the pool side. So I'm just going to paint on that area too. Try to eliminate the color cast that was showing over her skin. So I'm just going to paint just like that. So take your time as usual. So I'll paint on the edges or close to the edges right here, and ensure that I've painted each and every area that has or contains the skin. And by just doing this, you can see that the image is getting to look better than where we started. So I'm just going to press Ctrl D, or you can use Command D to deselect the active selection. So to perfect the areas that were not initially selected by the selection by Photoshop, press Ctrl D, or you can use Command D, and you deselect the active selection and simply come back and paint just like that in those areas that may not have been selected by Photoshop. So to delete color grading from areas that you did not want to be affected, get the eraser tool right here. This is the eraser tool, and you can increase on the size. Make sure the mode is set to brush, opacity and the flat 100%. And with the eraser tool, its work is to erase or rub away the colors from areas that you did not want to be affected in this case. So this is basically for a skin tone part. So I'll just paint quickly on her nails just like that to bring back the original or initial nail color of the subject. So press B for the brush in case you have made a mistake to get the brush tool to paint. So E is for the eraser and B is for the brush tool. So I'm just going to come to the upper part of the body and try to correct this area. So E for the eraser and rub away colors from some areas. So in case it is looking a little bit odd, I'm going to be showing you how you can perfect the color grading, especially on the model's skin. So Command minus to zoom out. So in case the colors are looking a little bit odd, just come the opacity and reduce on the opacity to your liking to around, I'll go with around 60, 65 is okay. Then for skin tones that are looking a little bit too orange for your liking, this is what we're going to be doing. Just come and create a hue and saturation adjustment layer. Come to master and select the reds and simply take down the red slider a little bit around -7. Then create a black and red adjustment layer. Change the blend mode from normal to multiply. come to the opacity and reduce it to around 3 or 4%, just like that. I think 2 is okay. Then I'll create one final adjustment layer, which is the selective color adjustment layer, and simply target the blacks of the image. So just take the cyan slider higher, just like that, and you can see how this is going to be affecting especially the dark areas like the hair of our subject. So this is okay and this looks okay. So let's see what we have just done in Photoshop. This is the image before, after, before, after. It is not too much, but it really adds a difference to the image. So this is it for this video. And in case you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like the video and don't forget to subscribe in case you have loved and enjoyed this video. Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in more videos on this channel. Don't forget to keep practicing and also keep creating.